Hello, hello. Welcome to today's messages. We're tapping in to the energies of today to see what comes up for us on this magical day. What messages are for us? Where are we at? What are we doing? What are we considering? What are we needing to be aware of and transmuting and, maintaining all of the things? Checking in. Oh, we got one. What is this card? It is ownership. Beautiful. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike and learn to love them all as lessons. Beautiful. Taking ownership of one's life and every choice, right? Part of taking responsibility for yourself, part of claiming sovereignty, part of reestablishing yourself as ruler of your own empire. You need to take ownership of every consequence of every choice. And, depending on what depends on the kind of consequences you get to reap. Something like that. Okay. Taking ownership of self. This is gorgeous because, yes, you have to suffer the consequences, but also you get to enjoy the consequences because consequences are a cause and effect reaction, and to take ownership is to have humility. It's the humbler's way, right? To be humble. We can all take wrong turns. We can all make wrong decisions. And the sooner we stand behind the choices that we make, something about that being empowering, right? It's like, who did this thing? Who did this thing? Depends. Is the consequence of doing that thing going to be a good thing or a bad thing? If it's a good thing, it was me. If it's a bad thing, I don't know who did it, right? But it's about taking responsibility, taking ownership regardless. And this puts you in a position of power and choice, right? It makes you aware of the consequences of your actions. And so you become aware of the choices that you are making and the actions you are taking, and their associated, what do you call those things? Consequences. Their associated consequences. Okay. Move that there. And we'll get these guys. We'll get the runes. Okay, so humility. This is when blessed, in turn bless. This is a recognition of everyone's responsibility with themselves. We've got Sowilo. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, Sowilo. It's basically the sun. Success, sensuality, wholeness, life force, and victory. Okay, this is part of the sovereign way, right? This ownership and the corresponding consequences of your misdeeds and accomplishments alike, right? Okay. The sun flashes off the brilliant feathers of the kingfisher as he bursts from the water, droplets sparkling like diamonds. Filled with pure life force, the vibrant little bird has boundless energy and overflows with well-being. Sowilo holds within it the radiance of the sun. It is the energy of life, strength of character, and completeness. This rune speaks of clear vision, the victory of good over evil, and light dispelling the dark. Good fortune and positivity await you. You have the energy to overcome any challenges and achieve your life goals. So, what will you do? Take ownership of it and remain humble, right? Remain humble. Because we are all on various stages of our processes. We all have to receive our consequences like for like. Right? But you see this. You see when you are constantly the receiver of the effects of your causes, right? You become a little more mindful of your causing, right? And awareness. Okay. Okay. Look at it. I mean, what was I even looking? I just always looked here. The keys of Arcturians. Of Arcturians. Of the I can't even say it. Keys of the Arcturians. Okay. I just look at that and then it was like a year or so I noticed this face. And then, 2 years later I noticed the words. And yesterday I noticed the freaking symbol is different. Okay, so yes, awareness, and that's hilarious. Okay, because it's zero awareness is this card. Okay, so levels of awareness expanding as you expand. Okay, yes, some things you are not meant to see. Oh, look at that. Awareness magnified by your clarity. Yes. Because this is a clear quartz crystal. Right? Awareness magnified by your clarity. Beautiful. Okay, awareness. Yes, the awareness of everything that we were talking about before with consequences and ownership and taking responsibility for self. Yes. All leads to the light and success. Because now we are actively curating our consequences, right? The consequences of being gorgeous is more gorgeousness, okay? Yes, this is how it works. The consequences of being a dick is being confronted by them regularly, okay? It's your sort of truth and destiny, gorgeous. You're standing firm. Look at the the stuff. It's crazy how it happened. Okay. So if you don't know, there used to be this plastic layer over my cards, and they started to get all wibbly wobbly. The next thing is because there's another layer on the back of the cards. But anyways, it was like this. Here, there's another one here. It starts to peel. Anyways, that was happening on these cards. Okay, we get your introspection, your ability to self-reflect, reflect. Yes, all of those things. Looking within to determine the self-reflection, right? This is part of this ownership. Why am I faced with this consequence? What action did I do in the past, right? What thought and behavior and or all of those things led to this now, right? And this ability to look within. Oh yeah, and then there's a piece of the plastic that lingered on this one. And you can't really see it in the, maybe a little bit. I just got to catch the right angle. But it almost looks like a eagle. The wings up here, the tail, maybe that's a talon. But then we've got a bit of a bird head. See it there? Yes, the tail. Okay, anyways. So this ability to look within, but also that balance between looking within at the details, but also pulling up and seeing from the big picture. Okay, something to do with your destiny, your sword of truth. This is how you access your truth, is through your looking within, right? How does this make me feel? What do I really feel about this or think about this? What are the consequences of my actions before I respond? All of the things requires a certain level of self-reflection and getting your balance from that, right? We've got the 4. So this stability coming from your ability to internally reflect, self-reflect, your awareness on yourself, right? This is your truth. How am I feeling? Where am I going? What am I doing? Okay, I got it. Now I can communicate that outwardly. What do we got here? Okay, look at this one. This one got crazy. Oh yeah, that's what I was telling you about the pulled plastic. These are the patterns that happened when I was trying to pull the plastic off. And it ended up recreating these cards, which is kind of beautiful because I feel like we've evolved through a portal of some kind. And the act of removing that plastic layer from the cards was like a shedding of this illusion, this overlay, right? And these beautiful, weird remnants or residuals or like the scars of the old illusion, the being able to see through the veil. I don't know. I'm sure it'll reveal itself as we go here. But okay, we've got, this is the starway. Okay, and it involved your choice, your awareness of your choice, right? You're choosing in every moment how you respond, how you engage, how do you interact, how you cause and the effects that come from them, right? During the healing process, which is the star journey, there is a stripping away that is necessary, layers of revelation, right? And acknowledgement and ownership of how much your free will is actually a thing, right? We hear it all the time. We grow up hearing all the time free will, something about free will, but it is only through this process that you actually recognize what that means, right? When somebody throws something at you, moving from a state of being where you're like, if somebody throws something at me, I have to pick it up, right? To just because somebody throws something at me doesn't mean I have to pick it up. I'm not obligated to pick it up. It's not part of my soul plan to pick it up. I mean, there's a time and a place, right? It's hard when you're speaking all the nuances and stuff like that and generalities, but you know what I'm saying, okay? It's this acknowledgement of choice and how that affects your world, right? And this is born or part of the going within process, the looking within, the self-reflecting. Okay. Yes, and it's your destiny to figure out your truth and to wield it, to speak it, to claim it, to own it, to anchor it, to hold it. Okay, and then we've got celebration, lucketh overflowing, and it's spilling into your cup, and the overflow sprinkling into all cups around you. Now, this could be your other areas of life, your career, your friend, family, home, aspirations, physical, mental, emotional, all of those kinds of cups. And when love overflows into one of those cups, it's going to affect all the cups, right? This could also be your friend group, your family group, your community, and how the overflow of you resonantly affects. Again, you're causing and affecting, taking ownership. What do we have over here? Okay, we got the lovers. Interesting with the lovers here. And page of wands. Okay, this is your faith in things happening that you can't see behind the scenes. And then we've got temperance, balance. I feel like this is the subconscious made conscious here, right? This process, it's like the consequence of your balancing within and trusting the results of it or the manifestations of that balance externally, that it is growing. Something about Bayat. Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Starts with the self and then it is mirrored externally. Beautiful. Also part of your truth and your destiny and a result of your process. Okay, I'm also being drawn to switch these up because it is also through this journey of self-reflection and balancing all your dichotomies within, right? It creates this beautiful, loving wholeness of self, which is your truth and your destiny, which then empowers what you choose to do with that. Right? I feel connected to the Arthur and the round table and the sword and the stone, because he could have done anything with that power. And of course, it's arguable that, it was because the sword recognized his soul plan. So there was never any, it's not going to empower someone who has it in their heart or their soul to be tyrannical, right? But this sense of equality was born, right? The round table was round so that everyone had a fair seating. They were all contributing as equals. And definitely that was that way because of how he started his life, right? Being hid, being held back by external, internal forces, whatever, right? Like his, I'm going off of the Disney version, but he was like a squire, right? And he was picked on and he was dismissed and used as a slave. And instead of turning into someone who was vengeful, he started new systems. Something like that. Okay, so the Nine of Swords stepping out of environments that deny access to your heart space, right? This is what we do. We learn by building a fortress of sworditude, is that it keeps us safe from any perceived threats, but it also blocks us from any of the love, right? But again, this was that going without part that was necessary to nurture the part of you who is compassionate and loving and emotionally regulated. Taking actions from your heart space. Okay. What else? Holding firm. Okay. Protecting your overflow, your inflow. Protecting your inflow. Standing firm. Like the bouncer at your event, right? Making sure that no poo-pooers are coming in. No poo-pooing allowed, only yaying. Ready to take action. Something like that. Okay, one more to balance out. I don't know if it goes on that side or this side. What's its balance point here? What are we protecting? How are we protecting? Who are we protecting? Why? When and where? Steady. Steadiness. Oh, holding steady during towers. Okay, that is your strength. Your courage in the face of adversity, in the face of a crumbling, unnecessary dissolving of old structures so that new can be, so that the new can be. Okay. Let's get a power deck card here. Oh, it's a memes out here. It's so cute. Okay. Too many. Wisdom, destiny, and humor were the ones I saw, though. So destiny, yes. The wisdom gained from your process, yes. And humor, your ability to virtue and impeccability. Okay, those are other cards. What's this? Okay, the choice. You always have a choice. This is your ownership of the choices you make and where they lead you. There we go. What do we got here? Enduring. 29. Take a stone in your hand and meditate upon it. Or use the stone surface pictured on the card. Go into the stone. Experience her quiet soul. The stone welcomes your visit. Let her experience the inside of your heart. See how you are each an enduring mirror for the other. You are everywhere, mirroring everything. The stone absorbs you, and you absorb the stone. How can you be alone if you are part of everything? You are the totality of enduring existence. Therefore, nothing in existence can upset you. Okay, interesting. Mims is stalking something. Oh, she was there for a second. What does she see? Anything? She's so cute. Look at her. Look at her, so tiny. Okay. Where were we? Okay. Enduring. Okay, and then there's an extra message in the book. what was it? A 20-something? Impeccability, courage. No, where are we? 29. The painting is entitled Ancient Memories. The stones represent the material world, and the flowers represent your inner soul and spirit. The salamander represents represents transformation into higher being through the vortex of energy created by the sacred spirals of life. Stones teach us patience and enduring courage. Beautiful. There's something there. Stones are the great storytellers. They were here before any of us, and they know the laws of the land. Sorry. I don't know what she thinks she sees there. Is it a frog? Is it a bird? Is it a piece of... What is it? I can't get any closer. There's something. There's something. What is it? Patience. There you go. Demonstrated by Mimsy Moon. Oh. Sorry. I just want to know what the heck it is that she sees, because I see nothing. Okay. Okay, Mims. Okay. Sorry. We'll just carry on. Keep on carrying on. Although I'm totally distracted by her. Okay. They are teachers of silence. If you become like a stone, you will experience the stillness of the stones, and then the flower of your spirit will brighten into full bloom with patience and enduring grace. Okay? I feel like this is definitely relevant to this journey and to where we're at right now with all this patience and enduring and wait for it and faith in the things happening behind the scenes and all that jazz, right? Enduring is a North card because it teaches strength and wisdom in the process of patience. It is with patience and endurance that we understand time and the uses of power. Without endurance and patience, your timing is never correct and your power is lost. Okay, this is part of the lion and the courage, right? The ability to conserve your energy and strike only when you see exactly what it is that you're going for, right? Like demonstrated by Mims, all things that happen during the reading is part of the message. And it's not always so blatant, right? But Mims is demonstrating patience and focus, right? And she's not just running in there. She knows that she's going to scare away her prey, what she's looking after or looking at or hunting, stalking, going for. Yes, all of those things. Okay, let's do a gentle chaos card here. Still waiting on my new deck. I had to check back and I saw it was delivered sometime July or August. And then I messaged them, hey, the end of July, because I didn't see, I just had sometime in July. And then I messaged them, and then I saw the July, August, but I had already sent the message, and I didn't get a response, which is starting a whole level of other things. Like, I don't know, when you buy something from somebody and they message you, an eventual response, right, is kind of like reassuring that they have me on their system as one who is waiting to receive something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh, it's something on the other side of the fence. She just went through the fence there. Nobody's been picking the blackberries from this side. I wonder if they're scared. I always wonder if I'm like the neighborhood witch that nobody wants to mess with. Is that the vibe I give off? Okay. They hit it up when I'm not around. I don't know. Okay. The motivations of other people are none of our business. We just do what we gotta do and be gorgeous about it. Okay, gentle chaos. Oh my goodness, she's adorable. But we knew this already. Okay, we got the garden snake. Ooh. And the bricks. And the bricks. Okay. Let's see what these two have to say about things. The bricks is gonna be right there. There is magic here in these bricks that have shifted over time. Beautiful. The bricks reminds us that nothing is as permanent as it seems, that change is happening all around us, even if it is happening too slowly for us to see. Beautiful confirmation of shiftings, right? And the garden snake. The garden snake shows us that sometimes things that seem scary are actually allies. Things aren't always what they first appear to be. In a past life, I was a garden snake that glowed like a violent beacon of neon pink light. Harmless. Always harmless. Okay. Okay, things aren't always what they first appear to be. This is why you haven't been trained to trust what you see, right? It's feel. It's what and how you feel what you are feeling. Which brings us to the fairy realms, the subtle, the subtle realms of the fae. Okay. We had this one come up before. Nellie's The Alchemist. A 27. Nellies. Nellies? Or is it Nellis? Inner transformation and irrevocable change. Yes. In fairy, and sometimes in our world, alchemy is the study and practice of transforming the soul from the lead of primitive conditioned reactions to the goal of spiritual and practical attainment. Beautiful. Nellies is mistress of the alchemical arts, and she also understands that daily life is a spiritual exercise. She recognizes that transformation may take place from the inside out or from the outside in. When things are stuck and movement has become impossible, Nellies firmly waves her rowan wand and things happen in ourselves and in the world. Sometimes things just cannot move without readjustment, perhaps even radical alignment, okay, with this Tower presence. We may feel that we should be able to bring our plans to fruition, but we may be aiming at the impossible, or at least at the very inappropriate. Part of the impossibility or inappropriateness may be a result of our own attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors, and part of it may be circumstances in the world, things that are beyond our control. Often, inner transformation is required in order to achieve what we wish for in the outer world, just as conversely, changes in the outer world often elicit inner transformation. Personal inner change is the truest transformation of all, and in the long run, it is the only change that really matters. Beautiful. Okay, when Nelly's show turns up in your reading, get ready for things to happen inwardly and outwardly. The stuck becomes unstuck. The blocked begins to move. You may have to run to keep up with the speed at which the situation around you is moving. You may also be surprised by the direction things and you are taking. You may find your plans, even your desires and dreams, changing as the transformative process takes place. It might not have been in your plans, but later on you'll look back and say, wow, it wasn't what I expected, but it was just what I needed. When we have been through such an alchemical process, we can never go back to where we were before, which is probably just as well beautiful. Okay, that's what's happening here. Alchemy, right? This tempering, the balancing, the adjustment, the finding the sweet spot of gorgeousness. Okay, message from the angels. That's too many. Harmony grows from a heart that knows it is protected. That was what I saw in that pile. Getting lots of piles. This could be part of the tower, all things coming at once. And to make sure to recognize, to be aware, and to self-reflect, right? Part of these skill sets are evolved. It's like these cards, right? Shedding the plastic. It has leveled them up in a way, transformed them from what they were into something else, right? They're still similar. They're still as they were, yet different, changed, transformed, and there's no going back, right? I can't put the plastic back on the cards. The effects of the removal are now a part of it. And this is what ultimately we're talking about in these readings, is the necessary stepping stones that get you to where you are now, to get you to here. And your awareness allows you to enlighten them, the past, through your compassion and grace, your humility. Okay. Recognize the rhythm of your life and go along with it. Okay? If you are flowing, allow yourself to flow. We've got use your willpower consciously and in wise ways. Beautiful confirmation of the whole willpower situation, right? And hope is an energy of your personality. Develop it. Okay. Yes, this is part of your faith in the things, in all things working in your favor. Gorgeously. Right? Is there anybody else you want us to come, and maybe these ones? We're running out of room. Okay, grounding, attraction, and release. Beautiful. I accept that everything that I have ever thought, believed, and desired has resulted in my present reality. Okay, this is your ownership of what you attract, and your humility when you recognize, when you figure it out, right? When you start to build the momentum to work in your favor. Release. As soon as I change my focus and let go of what no longer serves my highest good, I create space for greater fulfillment in my life. This is why the release is an important part of the gain, right? You need to let go of a thing in order to be able to receive a new thing. And just metaphorically, right? If your hand is full of rocks, how are you going to pull cake out of the oven? I don't know, something like that. Okay. And the grounding. To center myself, I focus on my breath. I am aware of my body and I trust that I am supported by the earth. Okay, when things start flowing and overflowing into your cup and out of it, remain grounded and humble, right? In your awareness, in your faith, in your trust that all the things are working in your favor. And also the ownership, right? It's not just about owning when you create an undesirable consequence. Yes, I made a wrong decision, or yes, I chose left when clearly right was the right way to go, right? But I will stand and own the consequences of making that choice. Well, the other is also true. When you make the right choice, when you choose left, when left was the way to go, and the consequences of that is gorgeousness, well, that too is worthy of your ownership, right? And this is how you build momentum. This is how you become the alchemist of your world, is through your awareness of your choice, of your choosing. How am I going to engage? How am I going to step forward? How am I going to process and respond, right? All of those things is your free will. Yeah. Get a couple wordy words. If you can think of a couple words, tell me, because I'm just like, what words? Although I got gifted a ancient dictionary to see how ancient it is. And I thought that maybe I would just flip it open and grab a word in form to give life to make known to. Okay. I love it. Look. And I researched this, and this was a farm, this Hazel Stubles farm. And there was a little schoolhouse. So yeah, Henry Keeble went to that schoolhouse, and this was their book. Cool, right? Okay. So I don't know why we got off on that. Allow the reflections of your inner to illuminate your luminosity. And commit, okay? Go all in with source, with spirit, with your faith, with your knowing, with your trust, with your gorgeousness, with your balance, with your truth, with your heart, okay? Yes. Yes, okay. That is what is here for you, plus all the things that you see and feel in the coming days and weeks and months and lifetimes. Make it gorgeous. Make it yours. Make it heart-based. Okay, yes. Love and appreciate you all. And see you next time. Bye for now.